And we're on, folks.
And we're live. So yeah, just like the last 5 or 6 podcasts we've done, we're either broadcasting to my personal pages, James's personal page, or there's no sound coming through whatsoever. So yeah, get really good. Like, feel free to envy your deaf friends that can lip read, because this is going to be a fucking nightmare if you can't. My name's Alan Brady. I'm with James Connors.
Hello.
Little Dave Gander in the middle.
Yeah, Big Dave coming at you.
Special guest in the studio, we've got Chris Butler.
Hello, nice to be here.
So what's been happening, fellas?
Oh, you've had a bit of a struggle, haven't you, Chris?
Well, what do you mean? I've been having... Yeah, which struggle are you talking about? My life is full of many struggles, Dave.
Okay.
I like how Dave basically tried to do the Dave Letterman thing where he's already had like a pre-interview and he can lead into like I don't know. He's like, I've established a rapport, so I'm going to lead into a question, and instantly Chris is like, we have no rapport. This isn't going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like this. I've been a little bit concerned about this one coming up actually, because like Dave, he offered to pick me up. He's been overly nice on the way here. Yeah. He said as soon as I got in the car, he said, let's start this with a hug. I feel like I might have been lured into a bit of a trap.
I think so, but like your entire friendship, because you've known Dave a lot longer than me and James, your entire friendship with Dave has been a bit of a trap. Like,
it has been somewhat of a trap.
Like honestly, like it's been like a fucking Richter scale during like, you know, a 10 fucking like earthquake. Like, it's so many ups and downs, because like when I first met Dave and you guys, now I don't know if you guys want to bring it up, but like Dave said, "Oh, Chris is upset because I tried to steal his personality." Now, just as a guy that just met Dave, what the fuck am I supposed to make of that? It's just like, "Hi, my name's Dave. I live at Mayfield. I steal my friend's personality." So but Dave said it to me unironically, and not thinking this is going to be an interesting topic. It's just he got a bit nervous and didn't know what to say. It's just like, I'm going to reel in a new friend over here saying I'm going to steal who he is on the inside. Like, why would you say that to me, Dave? It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, because
Dave's already in a heavy sweat.
Like, I've known Dave for 13 years, and like what happened was like earlier on we met at film school. Maybe I was doing a little bit better than him like earlier on. Like, it all turned around later on, perhaps, but like I was doing a bit better than him.
It's funny because I'm running a film school and Dave went to that, and it's like he's never been to film school before. So if that's any indication of how much better you were doing, Chris.
Well, not true. So like, yeah, he's been
I'm the producer.
He's sitting like a fucking swastika. No one has ever been comfortable.
He's contorted into a hate symbol.
I didn't know bones bent that way.
Hey guys, I brought some beers along.
Hey,
beers time. I also want to bring up that like, taking off items of clothing does not make you seem like you're in control here, Dave. I'm sure when OJ was on trial, he wasn't just aggressively just taking clothes off. Hey, let's take off these gloves.
Yeah.
Dave's back.
I like how Dave went to give us beers before the podcast, and I said, "What? Like, you're very concerned with how people perceive you. Why don't you wait till the podcast and you can get a bit of social credit for giving us beers?" And he's like, "I don't need to do that." And as soon as it goes a little bit south, who wants fucking beers? Look how much he's
I don't.
He's such a blokey boy. He's trying to twist off a pop top.
I was also trying to twist it off though. I'll give him just because
You're copying me.
Oh well,
they're stealing his personality.
Well, it's sad that the lines have been blurred now. I don't know what's happening.
Because he runs the Clown and Anchor, which
which
I was running earlier.
We're getting into.
We need some order here.
And we need some order. Okay, so you guys met 13 years ago at film school, and in the past you guys have even lived together. You've like Dave used to run a comedy room. Now you run it as well. So there's been a lot of like overlap with like your friendship. Okay, so where did it go from like film school to you guys like living together? Like, and what? How did Dave use some sort of psychological art of the deal on you to get you two in the same house together? Because Dave, like when my girlfriend left here, Dave's like, "You have a spare room?" And I said, "No." Okay, just no. I would rather take the hit in rent. Like they're just like,
would you like some water?
No, so like
just aggressively handing out.
How did he convince you that this would be a good idea?
Right, okay. Well, I think actually it might have been my idea.
So were you going through a self-loathing period?
Yeah, I was like, I hit a bit of a patch of depression. And
you're like,
I ended up...
I'm going to turn this patch into a Sahara of depression.
So yeah, I just done I did an independent feature film. It was like winning some awards and that sort of thing. I thought, we could.
Somebody must have missed it. Dave just cheers like an unopened beer with his water bottle. And then just Chris a knowing wink. Like,
so Dave, but then Dave. So we thought, mate, what we'll do is we'll move. I was from the Central Coast. Dave was from Cessnock. We thought we'll move into Newcastle. Like
we'll
hit to the big smoke. Yeah, the big city. And like. Now we can, sort of bloom and blossom.
So you're going to come to the city that Yahoo Serious left 30 years ago because it's burgeoning film community here in Newcastle.
Yeah.
The only films you see are CCTV footage of hate crimes at the Kent. Like, that's the only big things we're making here film-wise.
No, you've also got to remember there was the tradie bashing the homeless guy on Beaumont Street. So a lot of things happen on Beaumont Street.
It's very inspiring.
It's known for this documentary content. So that's and can you open this? It's just So so I was blooming into a young man. I was like 19 at the time, and then Dave though was also trying to bloom into the same man. I felt so he was stealing my way of speaking, my mannerisms, my opinions on a lot of things, and I sent him back home to live with his mother after about 2 months.
Hey, just one thing, James. I think Chris peaking a little bit, or is that all of us?
I think it's all of us.
Okay, cool. Okay, we'll just drop that down a bit. It's fine. So when someone starts stealing your personality, I don't even know what that means. So can you break that down for us? What stealing your personality means? Because if anyone's going to steal someone's, because like when I first heard it, I'm like, how the fuck do you steal someone's personality? Now after knowing Dave for like 5-6 years, I'm like, if anyone's going to steal someone's personality, it's going to be Dave. Like, but Dave doesn't even do his own personality properly. Like.
I'm a chameleon.
How can
Dave, what would you
someone else's
What would you say, Dave? How would you describe it?
Yeah, you were an influential figure. I looked up to you, Chris. Not just physically. Because he's tall.
Still makes fitting.
Can I just say, Dave has done more stand-up comedy than everyone in this room, and this is his sort of like quips. This is like the height of his wit. So
how's the weather up there? It's good.
You are actually a good comedian. That's the thing. Like, if you were just hopeless, I wouldn't hold you to a high standard. But just fucking hell.
I should have actually got here early and prepared the bomb cam again.
Like Dave's sounds like the kind of guy that if you're washing a car, be like, after that you can do more. And like it's just like, oh, you're awake. Like, Dave. Okay, so like, how were you stealing Chris's personality?
Yeah. Well, it's just he was
the mannerisms.
He was just stealing. Yeah, he was stealing my mannerisms and my way of speech, my turn of phrase.
So I have probably a bit more of a feminine voice than earlier.
Yeah.
We actually have a clip of my original voice.
Okay.
Exactly.
Can I just, because this is always like some sort of like brain damaged fever dream every time we go into this. We're going from stealing personalities and Dave just going, we have a clip of my original voice. Okay, like, let's explain this a little bit for people that haven't watched fucking 60 hours of our other podcasts.
Okay, so just to buy me time while I find it.
So Dave has got a very kind of like high inflection with his voice. It's a little bit weird. Like, can you imagine a heavily bullied child that tries to get out of being bullied by doing a lot of helium all the time? That's basically Dave. Okay? But apparently his voice used to be a lot different. Like, I looked at a clip that you did when you lived out at Cessnock, that great clip that was like very John Safran-esque, and you kind of sound like a tradie bogan. This is like this is like when you hear guys like Joe Rogan saying, I had to get rid of my Boston accent, but it's almost like you tried to get rid of your accent that was better than your current voice now. So like, why
I beg to differ. I'm more cosmopolitan now.
If you could choose any voice,
I can travel the world with this voice. If I have a bogan voice, people don't understand me. If I go China, they're going to misunderstand my English. I have clarity now.
So you sound like, you know when you get a balloon and then you grab that bit where the air goes into it and you pull it really, really tight and it goes, yeah, like that's basically what you've chosen. Why would you choose this?
He had limited options, yeah?
Yeah, Chris has a lighter voice, would you say?
No, he's a deep voice.
I have a very deep voice.
Why are you saying things that are obviously incorrect and then
a very commanding voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're just saying things that are wrong. Okay, so you wanted to get a different voice, and so how long did it take you to train to get this voice here?
So I lived with Chris for about 6 months. Is that about?
Yeah, possibly 6 months.
And we'd get in each other's rooms. I probably spent more time in his room than mine. I'd come inside and see what he's doing.
You can't
What's
just
up?
fuck. I can't even begin to unpack that sentence. So let's just plow forward, okay?
I'd we'd coalesce, liaise with each other, have pizza parties with one another, have good times. And his voice rubbed off on me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, liaise is a word that a businessman uses, not someone suffering a mental breakdown.
Yeah. liaise and pizza party have never been used in the same sentence.
They weren't even real pizzas.
Especially not...
they were just flatbreads with cheese on them.
I don't see the European Council coming together over a pizza party, Dave. That's so fucking... Okay, so you're hanging out in Chris's room, and then the voice started to rub off. Now, what did it sound like when his voice started to rub off? Like, at peak, you stealing Chris's personality?
Hang on. I want to know, was this a steady transition, or did one day he wake up and then he was just this weird Chris-Dave hybrid?
Well, I actually tried to do it in one day. But it was too striking. I had to ease it in with my family. My family would think I'm a big phony if I just flipped. So I had to ease in with my new accent that I got from university days.
So if we could sort of like flash forward in the timeline. Okay, so day one. So just say hello, I'm Dave Gardner, and then I'll give you a timeline and you can show us the transgression. So day one.
What are you going?
Okay, so then I like how it's like, I eased in. That's how I just started talking like this instant. Like it's very like there's no
that's how he used to sound. He used to sound like a bogan.
Oh, yeah, this is day one.
So you want day zero? Day zero.
This is the ascent of man.
Right, so 2 weeks in, what did you sound like?
How y'all going?
All right, a month.
How are you going?
2 months.
How you going?
3 months.
How you going? I don't know. It's hard to remember everything.
It is hard. It was like 10 years ago. So
I was somewhat traumatized.
It is a little bit.
I was traumatized too.
Yeah.
He threatened me with a knife.
Okay.
No, okay, just like...
let's back this up, okay?
That feels a little...
So Dave is doing something really weird, but I don't think this needs to involve a scene from, Rebel Without a Cause here. Like, so I had to get to the knife fight.
I had a knife. And I had a knife in my hand.
Oh, from the pizza party. Like,
I was just playing with the knife.
Yeah.
And you wanted to fight me.
No, I said to stop imitating my personality. Don't steal my I'd already warned him about it on several other occasions.
It was very suggestive with the knife.
Well, that was subconsciously coming out that I was playing with a knife,
Okay, so can we just slip back up a little bit? Okay, so can you take us through
I did get hands. It did get violent.
He wanted to fight me.
Okay,
yeah.
This is interesting.
Fight Brady.
No, this is
I'm a lover, not a
This
fighter.
is interesting, but I really want to hear, what did the first warning sound like, and what was your headspace like this? You're thinking like, I'm going to nip this in the bud because it's a little bit weird. So
when you're first trying to confront him, when you're like, this guy is definitely stealing, like, because obviously there's a period where you're not quite sure, and now you're like, I'm sure he's stealing.
Now, guys, can we actually do an act out? So you're Chris, and you're Bogan Dave. Okay. Now this is the first confrontation that you might be stealing the personality. Try to do it as true as possible. Okay, and scene begin.
Okay, it's like going back into my mind.
Oh man, group therapy.
All right, so Dave, I just want to look, Dave. I just want to talk about it.
Could I borrow one? Nietzsche. I like Nietzsche, the philosopher.
Look, Dave.
Sorry.
Go.
Can
you stop? Like, you've been acting like me lately. I've noticed.
How have I been acting like you? I've always done this in Cessnock, moving my arms around like this.
Well, you've grown your hair out. I have long hair. You've grown your hair out. You're parting your hair like I do, and a similar mannerism. You've got now you're acting kind of effeminate and performative as I do.
Okay, I'm glad you admitted that you sound effeminate. Because, like, maybe later on you're going to change the story. But anyway, I'm going to say, right. End scene.
Oh wow! That was epic.
Is that how you got out of that first confrontation? Chris is like, stop being weird. You're like, end scene.
No, that's not how. He said he'd stop. He said he'd stop.
Okay, so you made a promise that you'd stop, and then when it escalated to the last time, it sounds so it actually got physical.
Yeah, because I've been talking about a television show idea that I'd been developing for about 2 years that I talked about again and again repeatedly.
Yeah.
And then he comes to me with almost the same idea.
Oh no.
And
I don't steal ideas.
He pitches it to me and says, "This is my idea." And then
I don't steal ideas.
And then I remember that I said, "No, it's not. It's my idea, friend." And then it got a little bit heated, so I picked him up by his shirt, and he said, "This isn't fair. You exercise all the time. I've never exercised."
Yeah, I read books. You lift weights. There's a difference.
I lift heavy books.
He reads bigger philosophy books.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so he let me go, and like he didn't. He said, I
said you should move back to Cessnock. Maybe just move back to Cessnock.
Yeah, then I moved back to Cessnock.
I don't know if this is good. Like,
but this is hilarious because like you say move back to Cessnock, you don't have to move back to Cessnock. You can just leave the house, and be like, "Oh, Chris told me to." Like, just like this is what he would do. Like, is this also part of imitating?
I know this is great content because I was like, I know this is it's like a lot of fun to pick on Dave, but I admit I maybe was a little bit insane also. I was like, I thought people were copying my identity. And it's a little like
so being a little bit insane. I think Dave, if you're a little bit insane, I think Dave is still copying your personality.
That's what I'm saying.
He didn't pick like a very stable person to copy. He's just like, here's someone on the edge. Yeah. Let's really try to push him right over.
I would so I've go into kind of what they call hypermanic states. That's what I would go into, and that's Dave took that on as his personality. And he's like, "I'm a cosmopolitan guy. Look at me now."
Let's check out some of the comments.
Yeah, whatever. That's all right.
Anyone said so we're just going to chuck to the comments quickly. See if anyone said anything.
Has anyone got an opinion?
Shout out to Sarah. She said the sound is awesome, which is good. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, yes.
By the way, tune in to Sarah Gall's The Weekly Gall at 8 p.m. tonight. She'll put the link in the comments. Angus Bevan, my mate Gus, he says, "Fuck, I'm peaking right now." We're not talking about that, dude. Sarah says, "The biggest drama of this podcast is that no one has opened the fucking pizza shapes." We got Mitchell Sventz. He says that artwork is just beautiful, so at least someone appreciates you putting some artwork up.
Yeah.
And Liam says, watching Chris and Dave's reenactment, I now know how a one-man show would work as a double act.
That's so clever. Okay. Also, check out touchit.com.au. That's our YouTube page as well. It's just a bit easier if you sign up to the YouTube because you get a notification straight away. So, yeah, either search Touch It on YouTube or go to touchit.com.au and it just relink straight there. Okay, so flash forward today. You guys get on pretty well. You've got over the whole personality.
Well. I had a bit of an axe to grind with Chris.
Yeah, we get on well. I'm going to axe the grind with this dickhead. It's in the same breath.
I went back to Cessnock, and I thought we had reconciled. Chris, accepted my agreement that let's not have a fight. Let's not have a physical fight. I might call the cops on you. So he
very manly move, Dave.
He respected that. But then he said, "Dave, I want to patch things up. I've got this opportunity for you as an actor.
Yeah.
To star in this stage show with me."
Yeah.
And then I got up on the stage show, and I was just in front of some students. And the direction was that Chris beats me up on stage.
Okay, so can we unpack the stage show a little bit? Like, what was the stage show, Chris?
So it was for a class called The Director's Perspective at Newcastle University, where I had to basically pitch a show. And what I did was I set up that Dave was my assistant.
A show with...
Sorry about that.
And he was setting up kind of lights and stuff around, but what happened was that I would get infuriated with him and get increasingly angry because he's doing it wrong and he's ruining my presentation. Yeah. And then it would ultimately end up in a physical altercation and the lights smashed and he ran away. Like Dave.
And I'd like to say, I thought we were going to have a fake fight, but those fists were pretty real. I had a limp.
What, did you get punched in the leg? Why were you limping?
I fell over.
He fell over.
Who blocks a punch with their thigh? Like, how much are you cowering that your leg gets up that high?
I've watched a lot of UFC and never seen anyone limp from a punch in my life.
I want to see Dave's style. That's so fucking weird. You say he can't fight, but that's pretty impressive, Dave. Like,
cheers, man. Cheers. Thanks.
He managed to get injured in the most unique way.
Okay.
Exactly. So I want to say sorry for stealing your identity, Chris.
Yeah.
Would you like to apologize for something? Maybe that happened after.
There's always a caveat when Dave says sorry about something.
I know what you're talking about. All right. So also when we were living together, Dave came home and he had his pants in a plastic bag.
No, not this.
And he came home from class.
Not
He
this
came.
time.
Okay, I know what this is about.
Oh,
Dave came
shapes.
home with his pants in a plastic bag,
Yeah.
and he'd been doing a presentation, I believe. Is that right?
I'm sure he had.
His pants. I might have been misremembering this, but his pants were covered in shit.
Oh my god.
And he'd gotten diarrhea in class. And I think you wanted to borrow some of my pants, and I don't know if I let you or not. Is that what you were?
You absolutely should not have let it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Unanimously.
Oh my god.
but I'm sorry. I probably could have just let you. But I felt like maybe it was part of your scheme to like, now you're wearing my clothes, you're stealing my personality.
If you've already got a bag, Dave, pop that on. You can just wash that off with the diarrhea. But why would you?
Wait.
No, but you're right. I'm sorry.
Hang on. So
Yeah.
About the thigh, my sore thigh. That's what I meant.
was this at home afterwards? Why didn't he get his own clothes? Was he like, if you don't give me pants, then I'm just gonna be naked from the waist down now?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's going to be shit all throughout the lounge room. It's up to you, Chris.
He had to go back to class to finish the presentation.
Yeah, and then I had a bit of a date afterwards, and he had better pants.
No, that's right. You had a date, and you had to. Yeah, you wanted nicer.
Yeah, my good pants were soiled.
Your good pants were ruined. I remember now. So, but I'm sorry about that. I was quite competitive, and I didn't want you to get the girl based on my pants.
So you don't think the shit running down his legs was a handicap enough? You're like, no, he can't have like pinstripes. That's going to push him over the line.
I wasn't level-headed either. Okay, like,
Yeah.
I'm first to admit that. It's okay.
I would have been much more worried about the condition of the pants that he was going to return.
That
would have been
was
my
worried
reason.
I love that Dave went on the date, and because you would have stunk a bit like shit, did you just like make sure the restaurant was as close to a disgusting public toilet as possible, so the waft is coming from somewhere else? Maybe. Like,
What you do is you just check your shoes. So it seems like someone must have stepped in some shit.
in it.
Someone stepped in
And-
some human shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of did after. It was pretty messy. It was a messy day.
you're a fucking maniac. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Oh my God.
How's your mental health though now? Chris?
My mental.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
Just
I'm-
wait.
I'm
Weren't we
sorry
gonna watch
to
a clip of Dave?
Yeah, I've got it loaded up. I just should chime in here. Alex Kubensky has said this should be on radio. After that last story, this will never be on radio.
Like our audience of like 4 people on Facebook, we're reaching 400% too many people with this shit right now. But like, so we've actually got a clip of Dave's. I love it. It says, quote unquote original voice. It means
It actually didn't you have an American accent before this?
I probably tried a few.
Yeah. Okay.
Tried a few.
So you might. So yeah. So is this actually playing sound out properly? Because
It is now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know why the opening clip didn't. Oh shit, my face was just there. All right, folks, let's have a look at this clip.
Is that Dave?
Yeah.
That's Dave in the brown jacket.
In my good pants.
Yeah.
Why was he running?
I don't know.
I don't know.
G'day there.
is it? 9:30 or something? Yeah, the band will be here soon.
What?
The band will be here soon.
We are the band.
Sorry.
What the fuck, Dave?
Dave, what? Like, who is... Okay, now, Dave, I'm going to ask you an honest question, and can you just try to answer as honestly as possible? If that is you, and you are you now, somewhere in the middle, was there like a severe blow to the head? Did you get some sort of intestinal worm that went into your brain?
He fell over on stage.
What the fuck? Like, he looked cool. He had a jacket. He had a normal voice. Why would you want to change from that? Like, I think you imitating Chris has turned into this. What an epic backfire. That was a cool, handsome guy who was normal. What the fuck is happening now? There's no way I'd ever see those guys as related. That's like your more handsome, normal person.
This is not. This is actually Brady complimenting Dave. It's a unique situation.
No, I'm complimenting that guy. Like it was.
That is not Dave. That is some other guy.
Because like we've talked about this. Like Liam Cullen said, you're the Benjamin Button of comedy. You're developing in reverse. Because I saw one of your first or second set. I'm like, this guy's like a pro and he's awesome. He's dressed well. He's saying stuff. And then the last set I saw, you're covered in some sort of cream, and then you cried and you threw up immediately afterwards.
And then just moved to the woods. Like I've bombed before, but never so much that I moved to the woods. You know?
Like the shame of
I
bombing.
miss the woods.
Yeah, the shame of bombing in front of 4 people at an open mic in Newcastle. Just too much for Dave. Like Dave, what happened? You're not that old.
Yeah. I find it very mentally taxing, this whole entertainment business. You find it mentally taxing, James, Chris?
You've never entertained anyone for about 8 years, Dave.
The 4 people on Facebook do not count. I'm sorry if you're watching, but
what Dave's trying to keep prodding at me about my mental state because I recently have been like potentially diagnosed with a mental illness, and he keeps trying to bring it up to like
to elevate him,
elevate
like
him.
A comparison, contrast.
No. So we've talked about this because Dave has.
I haven't been diagnosed with anything.
Dave,
you haven't been to the doctor, Dave.
Exactly. But like you also had head lice for 4 years, and you just refused to accept it. It didn't mean you didn't have. It didn't mean you didn't have head lice from 2008 to 2012. You just didn't.
That was a good vintage of head lice.
That was a good.
For anyone that hasn't listened, Dave's head got so infected when he shaved it. He said a kind of pepperoni situation on my head. And it was just leaking and buzzing. And James was like, what the fuck did you think? They're sucking your blood for 40 years. Oh my God. So, okay. So, but this is like, but you do this all the time because you have an elderly schizophrenic friend who's obviously in need of a lot of help. But when you hang out with him, you kind of seem like that guy in the video we just saw. Like, you seem like rather than self-improvement, you're like, well, what fucking losers can I hang out with? So like me and James are keeping the bar pretty low, so you don't seem too much underneath that, so it's fine.
But I'd like to say thanks for everyone to be here, and it's been great to have
None of that made sense. For an English teacher, you have appalling grammar.
I'm doing English teaching in a couple of hours. I'm on holiday at the moment.
Okay, you're on holiday from your 90-minute-a-day job. What a well-deserved day, teaching kids incorrect English over the internet. Have we had any more comments, James?
So we had Sarah said, "Hi, can we go back to the James close-up, please?" Absolutely not. And then Elliot says, Elliot Stewart, Raw National finalist, didn't win.
Yeah.
Obviously, but he said, "Dave was the first person I ever met in comedy and guided me through my first open mic."
Oh, God bless.
And then he followed up with, "Stunted my comedy growth by 12 years."
God damn.
Holy fuck. Where did that come from? Are we on that cam now?
Yeah, so these are some of the pizza parties.
Oh my God.
We can taste the history.
Dave is handing out pizza shapes.
These aren't pizzas either.
So for anyone that's just listening to this and they can't see it, Dave has something that looks like he has rabies. Is this like what affected your brain the way it did? Did you get bitten by a rabid dog?
I'm having a good time. These were the best days of my life.
I don't have rabies if I don't go to the doctor and he finds out. Does anyone else's spine hurt? Like, Dave, what the fuck? What is around your mouth?
It's cake. Sometimes we had bonus cake.
That is a
after the
piss.
picture.
Yeah.
That is a piss poor excuse for whatever that is, Dave.
Any other pictures of Chris? Chris is here. He's having a laugh. He's
It's
having a
only
great
our
time.
showing me that one picture, unfortunately.
Okay, well, Chris is there in. Yeah,
I'll
behind the
try to
camera.
pull up
He's having
some.
a great time.
I'll try to pull up some more, and you guys
Yeah.
just talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. Like
okay.
sometimes, because like I always say, Dave, I don't want to know what you're going to bring up on the podcast because when we used to do the podcast, they would tell me a story. I would react exactly the same way I'm reacting now, and I'll try to have to feign it later. But like Dave's always like, seems like he's got nothing, but he just tells one story, doesn't think it's interesting, and it's about how he shit his pants and become autistic. Like, and it's like this is fucking amazing. But yeah, because I got a body composition like the other day, and I had a funny anecdote. But compared to anything Dave says, it's just so fucking irrelevant. Like, I don't actually ever have to leave my house. I just have to have Dave come and go, everything you said makes no sense. 45 minutes passes and Finn. Like, that's pretty much everything.
By the way, Dave has sent me the world's longest link. This thing has 2,000 characters. This has more characters than pi in this fucking link. What have you done? Have you copied every website? Is this some kind of Russian psyop dark website link? What the fuck is
Old
happening?
school Facebook coding. This was from a while ago.
It's so
Binary
good.
code
It's
the
so good
same
that
image.
it's great that Dave stole Chris's personality, right? And now Dave wants Russians to steal all our identities, like this fucking link. So, yeah, are you able to pull it up, or is it still fucking? Is it? Is it a fucking
what's the
GeoCities
image?
website?
What's the image that we're trying to?
Chris, you've got a big smile on your face.
All right, here
Oh.
we go. I've got it
Chris
now.
is
I've got
having
it
a
now.
great time right here with one of my multicultural friends.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
folks,
That one there.
let's cut across.
Yeah.
So we've got
So we're all having a blast
this
here.
is the first picture.
That's Dave making pizzas.
I'm just gonna zoom in a bit.
Pizza cheesecake.
Oh, it's a
What?
cheesecake, is it? Yeah, okay, a cheesecake.
Cheesecake, that's fine.
2010. Oh man, brings a tear to your eye.
A second photo.
That's
of
also Dave.
Oh, great,
looking
because-
possibly creepier
Yeah.
than the first.
We didn't
Why'd you have
quite
to put all
capture-
these photos up?
Yeah, but why did you put your camera in sports mode and be like, okay, it's 1 second, it's 400 photos, but all of them are going up? Like, take a fucking different pose than
An
put that up.
action shot.
Editing can take some time.
Oh, that's me having a great time, is
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's Chris.
This sounds
the
like
animal.
this looks like a banging party, dude. This
yeah.
looks honestly.
These are, and can we just remember, lest we forget, Dave said, these was the best days of my life. These are the fucking days. It basically looks like people waiting in a police, like, fucking holding cell with, like,
I
a
think I've got,
poorly
like,
made
a tear
cheesecake.
coming down my cheek.
Can I just say, like, Dave has changed so much, but Chris, you look exactly the fucking same. Like,
yeah,
I've just zoomed
true, 'cause
right
I'm
in
true
on
to
this guy's
myself.
face. The best days of our lives.
it's mid Dave
The
anecdote there.
boys. The boys.
Okay, we got some more pictures.
All right, just three guys hanging out having a very staged photograph.
Oh fuck.
And Dave eating a solo cheesecake.
That's
So, like-
James McTeague's nephew, if you know V for Vendetta.
James McTeague's nephew. Wow, David,
Yeah.
rubbing shoulders with the
That's
influential.
when we moved to Newcastle. There was these networking opportunities.
The big smoke.
I was hanging out with Patrick Swayze's second cousin's wife. Oh wow. Well, David.
Having a solo cheesecake party.
Cheesecake. I want
Oh my
cheesecake.
God. And this is Dave going into anaphylactic shock from the cheesecake. The other guy just trying to escape. What
He looks like he's pissed his pants too. I don't know whether Dave's shit in his pants already and they've already done the swap.
Is this your date later on, Dave? Oh, fucking hell. All right, what's the next one? Oh, dude, this isn't any better. This is...
What is happening?
Yeah. So James McTeague's nephew is.
Like, I love that. This is
You
the...
should stop doxing these people, Dave. 'cause
Dude,
this is
this is the saddest name drop I've ever heard. For anyone who doesn't know, the guy directed V for Vendetta, and his nephew did nothing. Okay? That's all you need to know. Okay? And he has a name, isn't it like Daniel or something? You don't see James McTeague's nephew. This obscure director.
this is a great shot, Dave, from an aspiring
actually-
filmmaker.
This is actually, I don't care for this photo because, like, Dave's actually hugging my nemesis from back in the day. That guy was my nemesis.
Oh, the piss pants guy is the nemesis.
That guy that Dave's hugging there.
He's a good dude.
He called me a cunt. Remember?
Did you deserve it though?
Not really.
He deserved dickhead, but not cunt. Okay,
that's because I was critical of his screenplay. So
yeah, you're very critical.
And I embarrassed him in front of James McTeague's nephew.
Professional suicide. What's the next one? Ben's alive. Look at that shit. Man, even the curtains are trying to leave.
Yeah, so soon after that, I asked Dave to leave.
Fucking hell. The lighting is so bad. I mean, there's no music. Dave's eating the cheesecake for himself. Someone's pissed their pants. James McTeague's nephew's just like, yeah, I'm pissing off. I'm out of here. Like, Dave just fucking crushing it. And look how many likes and comments there are on that photo. 10 years and nothing.
Inappropriate. No one.
I'll tell you what, it's sort of, that house is so spooky. It kind of reminds me of like this photo with Malat in it. Like, what kind of hellhole is this?
Oh god.
How many backpackers have you guys killed as a trio? Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. Okay, all right, what's the next one?
And then we're back to the start.
Oh, no, that was great. Fantastic, Dave. Some wonderful photos there. Some great banner. Now, do we have any other comments on those photos, James? We need to keep this train going.
So Elliot said, Dave met me outside the Crown and Anchor because I was too young to get in. Immediately invited me to his car, ? Made me carry nearly all the comedy gear and then left me on my own for literally 40 minutes. He then returned, went up first, bombed, and then I never saw him again for 4 months. Oh man, I love comedy.
How was the Raw Grand Final for you? Did you win?
And Liam said Dave's diarrhea was so bad he crapped out his whole personality.
Oh my god.
So, Dave, did you have any stories you wanted me to go over or anything? Like, you brought me in here.
Some creative ideas.
No, any story. Oh no, just I don't know anything. Is there a particular anything in particular?
We did have that date with the woman at New Year's Eve. Do you remember her, the MILF?
Yeah, when we were.
Would you call her a MILF or?
Not particularly. I mean, she had a cold sore.
Yeah. She had a cold sore and she wasn't a mother. Like, just besides that, MILF.
No, she was a mother. I think that this is like the first time me and Dave were like sort of started hanging out, and Dave came to hang out. He, I think, thought I was cool at the time and came to hang out with me at New Year's Eve when I was 18.
I still think you're cool, even though you have a mental illness. And
I'm medicated.
Your life is kind of going.
It's nice. Well, it's gone uphill from this story. If I continue, I think that we went to an RSL on New Year's Eve.
Mingara.
Yeah,
so
Mingara from the Central Coast.
Have you guys heard of Mingara?
I don't know why you need to mention names and places and
it's just upmarket. It's got a swimming pool.
The swimming pool was closed.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's opening hours.
Yeah, it's like if you go to like Star Casino and be like, oh, they got a VIP area that I've never been allowed to.
There was a pokies area, and there was like.
I know.
Hey, do you know this hotel has a penthouse?
Yeah.
I know I'm sleeping in the laundry,
and a swimming pool. Like, how fucking anodyne and boring.
So what happened? She wanted to come home. We waited till the very end, and there was no one else left except for one sort of snaggle-toothed old crone.
And I think what happened.
Can I just say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Woke Podcast. Fourth wave feminism is alive and well here. So tell us about the snaggletooth old crone, Dave.
No, she was fine and she was nice, but but she shouldn't have been in this context with 18-year-olds.
Yeah. Snaggletooth old crone.
It was 2008, and with Obama winning, anything felt possible. The barriers were broken.
You were very excited that she wanted to come home with us, I remember.
Yeah, multi-generational.
Because she said that she would play Nintendo.
Yeah, I believed it too.
But clearly, read between the lines, that wasn't what she was interested in. She was like quite sloppy.
Yeah, well, I think video games are pretty good.
I remember I was playing it, and You were sitting.
Can I just pause for one second? You've got to get bomb cam working again, man. Like it's actually important. So I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's good. We can. Bomb cam. I mean, it's not good. This isn't going well. This story, but it's not going to end up well for us. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So like we were like okay, let's just like for dramatic effect, say we were on top of the world, and we had found someone to come home with us, so the night didn't have to end. And it was like a 38-year-old woman or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And she was
quite an intricate like background.
She was quite nice.
Children, and I think she was studying at university.
Yeah.
Too, mature age.
But she was coming home, and Dave thought it was about video games, and that's the story he stuck to. And so he was sitting on the bed next to her, and she started being like quite
a mentor.
She was like,
yeah.
What did she say?
She was saying, Dave, because you're so young, you probably don't know how to pleasure people in the best sense. So she was showing me what to do in a situation.
So she basically sat you down, then she got blew out the Donkey Kong cartridge, put it in, and be like, "So you want to bring pleasure to people? You get really good at this game. That's fucking Nintendo." Okay. She said you don't know how to pleasure people.
Yeah, and so she was being a bit physical with me. Holding me, caressing me. This is what a woman and a man should be like. And then we were caressing one another. Chris thought maybe we can make some home videos.
No, it was ridiculous because she was like putting your hand on her leg and stuff, and you looked like you wanted to leave your own body and were just like... and she was trying to force your hand onto her.
So it was 2008 when women Me Too'd men. It was a very different time.
I don't even know if this is a story, Dave, but I've turned on a video camera, and then she noticed, and then she started abusing us.
She was pretty upset,
saying that her kids go to like the same year at uni as us, and that you can't call us this. Then she ran into my mother's room because I was living at home at the time, and started abusing my mum and
what?
my stepdad.
So you brought it back, and your mum is like, "Oh, hey, Carol from tennis," and then
it's like 4 a.m. and my mum was in bed. Yeah,
and I tried to calm down the situation, use my diplomacy skills. So I went inside
your famous diplomacy skills.
I've shit my pants. I need new ones. Diplomacy.
No, because this was he had the farmer accent back then. Remember? So it was what would have sounded like then.
I'm using my diplomatic skills. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
sure,
whatever.
Bomb cam, ladies and gentlemen.
What? Explosion. So what happened is we went in there, and I know Carrie, or Chris's mom and stepdad, and I went in there and I tried to normalize the situation. So she's yelling, and I'm like, "Hey, how you going? How you doing?" And then the stepdad woke up. He saw the raging woman, and he saw me, and he liked that I was there, and he said, "Hey, Dave, how you doing?"
This isn't an anecdote. It's not a story, and I'm 100% sure I did not go down like this. So what's so like okay? So
but in the end, Chris was able to play video games because I had to drive her home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
that's good. That's a
neatly
good
into a bow.
Great.
Storytelling Dave.
Nice.
At it again.
But keep in mind, you had to drive this woman home after you invited her back.
Yeah, wrapped it up in a bow again.
This is very James Bond-esque of you. Inviting a woman back, getting abused by someone's parents, and then driving them home, and then playing a bit of Nintendo at 5 a.m. with your mate who've just tried to steal his personality. So, yeah, fantastic.
I think Chris had one controller, is that right? Yeah. So.
I don't think that was what she was screaming about. Actually, believe it or not, I think that was pretty low down the totem pole of things that she cared about.
Yeah, she's like, "We got to go life for life. There's not enough controllers. This is fucking bullshit." Okay. So we should probably get close to wrapping this up. We've been going for a long time. Do we have any more comments? Do we have any comments on the YouTube as well, if that's open?
I haven't opened that. No. Nick says Elliot should be on your show. He's funny as fuck.
Nick who?
Nick Cummins. To be honest, the raw judges agreed to disagree with you.
Look, Nick, the authorities have spoken, and it didn't work out.
And that's how you treat a mentor. I can't help you out with your comedy. I'm mentoring you in my car.
carry
Give
my
me a
gear,
slap.
and get into my car. Nothing bad has ever happened in there. It sounds like it's a fucking whirlwind. Real fun, Dave. Yeah, look, just move over the shitty pants and jump in the front seat. Okay. Who else has made some comments?
Sarah says, can we hear from Panthy? Panthy's enjoying a bit of a scratch at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Out of commission. I'm just going to see if there's any on
on the bloody YouTube. Okay, so if you want to hit up the YouTube, go to touchit.com.au. It relinks straight to the YouTube. Yeah, we will steal some credit card details, some identity. It goes through a couple of third parties that Dave's organised. But yeah, it's just a little bit easier than the Facebooks. You get those notifications.
We've got 2 watching.
Ooh!
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So someone says hashtag Team Dave.
Oh, it'd be Katie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Katie, you were horrifically wrong. I don't know how long ago that was. Someone said, sorry, I didn't write in about the bottle opener. I was laughing too much. Dave's personality makes this show. Absolutely. That's why he's here.
Yeah, exactly. All it is we get Dave, we push him to the point where he has a neurotic meltdown, and then in a week's time, because he's an idiot, he forgets that he hates us, and he comes back and we tease him again. And that's the show.
Yeah.
And Rachel,
I was going to say something. Okay.
someone has the same person has then said, it's not the first time Dave's stolen material.
Oh!
Big accusation.
As in pants? As in Chris's pants?
That actually doesn't deserve bomb count. That's actually okay.
Deserves a round of applause, Cam, but I don't have that.
Okay, I reckon we wrap this up. So, okay, look, we used to go through this back in the day when we did Guantanamo Dave, and I think it's appropriate now. Now,
Appreciation.
Chris, have you learned anything about Dave throughout these conversations or over the years? Like, what's the biggest thing you've learned about Dave?
Biggest thing I've learned about Dave is that he responds to like violence, and he's not really to be trusted. And
Dave, have you learned anything about Chris?
I think Chris is a really good guy, and I told him that he can take the helm of the Clown and Anchor comedy with the open mic.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's doing a great job there. Fuck,
you're a suck up, Dave. It's just like I got picked up.
Why are you bringing that up?
It's just trying to get one last compliment in, so you sound worse.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, and he's gonna be the bigger man.
Yeah, because if I had said this first, he would have gone, I can't trust Chris. I don't like it. But now it's like, how much sympathy can I milk out of the audience? Like that.
Yeah.
So like, why don't you actually not be a little sycophant and actually say what you feel? All right.
Yeah, I left.
Because I named the Clown and Anchor comedy. Remember with that pun?
Yeah, you did.
And I said the format of what it should be as well, right?
Yeah.
And I set up the original Facebook page and graphics and everything.
Can I just say,
you know?
they're fighting over a comedy room that Chris's girlfriend, very good comedian Sarah Gall, described as the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. Okay? That's the legacy that's being fought over here. But it is the staple of Newcastle comedy. If you ever come up, give it a run. And you decide if you want to move.
We're like two homeless people just fighting over trash.
And hey, maybe if you come down to the Crown and Anchor, maybe you too can carry all the gear, watch Dave bomb, and then never see him again.
Yeah, because like
that's the dream.
Yeah, because like there is a reason why Dave moved to the woods after that bomb. It's fucking hard.
Yeah, I was mentally troubled at that time, and sometimes I feel a bit mentally troubled here, and I thought maybe Chris can replace me. How's that?
Yeah, but I'm diagnosed and highly medicated at the moment, so it's not going to have the same effect. I'm way leveled out.
Dave, see, if we pick on Chris, it's almost like a hate crime. But because you're too mentally incompetent to go get diagnosed, it's 100% fine.
Exactly.
It's just friendly bullying.
Also,
all right, I reckon we wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching. Check out touchit.com.au. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Leave some comments for Dave. We love reading shit. And yeah, thanks.
He's a great guy.
Tune in again, and also go to Sarah Gall's page and watch the Weekly Gore, which will be shot right here, 8 p.m.
Okay.
Get on it.
Farewell.
All right, thank you.